A very good day. In today's lesson, we want to trace the transactions that are going to be recorded in the cash receipts journal and the cash payments journal. In order to help us here, I'm going to use two colors. The green is going to be for all transactions that should go into the cash receipts journal, where money is getting in to the business. And the CPJ will be in red, where money is going to go out. You will easily understand that in these two journals, it's all about money coming in or going out. So what I've done here is, with your transactions, I have shaded all the transactions where money is going to go into the business. And if you check the red ones, it's all the money that is going to go out of the business. And it becomes very easy from there for you not to make mistakes in the cash receipts journal. Now let us have a look at how this is going to be in the cash receipts journal. Remember, in your cash receipts journal, we are trying to look at issues to do with all the money that was received. So we have a column for the source document. So our first source document was a duplicate receipt number 1, and in this analysis of receipts column, we are going to be recording any amount that we receive. So we received 100,000, and that's 100,000. We are going to to record it in the bank. Then we check any other column that is going to be affected. We cannot put this amount as current income because this is not money that was earned by rendering a service. We did not receive this money from anyone who was owing us. So we will only start using this column in grade 9. For grade 8, we will never use this column because we are not going to be selling on credit. So most of the times, you will find that the cash receipts journals that you get will not have this column. It is for when we are when we are receiving money from people who owe us. So because we don't have a column for this money, which is capital, we put it in this section that is called sundry accounts. And then we have to write the name of the account, capital. So if you look, now we have written the same amount 3 times. First time in analysis, second time in bank, and then third time in the other account. This is going to help us now to understand that any transaction that happens is going to affect 2 accounts. So which 2 accounts? Bank, which is an asset, and then capital, which is owner's equity. So we must always learn to identify the 2 accounts affected by a transaction, as we have already seen before. So the same applies to all the other times that money was being received. We have to check what it was for. So if you check on these 2 occasions, on day 4 and day 7, this money was earned by rendering a service. Therefore, it is called current income. But on day 15, this money was received for rent. So we'll have an account called rental income, or simply rent income. and rent income will belong to owner's equity, like we have noted or read. So doing a cash receipts journal is that easy. Name the person who gave you the money, or if we don't know the person, it was coming from different people, we simply call it cash. If we were rendering service to different people who would come in, this one comes for something else, they pay us a little bit, until at the end of the day, we have collected 500. On another day, we collected 3,250. Then, when we get to the end of the month, we want to add these columns. We are only leaving out the analysis of receipts column. All the other columns, we are adding them so that we can be able to determine how much we collected, all in all, going into the bank, and then how much of this was going to go into, was coming from current income, and how much from other sources. Like in this case, our sundry was from capital and the other one from rent. So making it a total of 101,000, and then here 11,208. What I want you to know from the beginning is, if you take these amounts and you add them, they will give you 112,208. So it explains where we got all the money that went into the bank. All right. So we'll use this transaction to show what is going to happen to our bank account. Now, let's go to the red part. All the items that we recorded in the red part were the things that were resulting in cash going out. So the same thing again, we want to know the source document, and therefore we write the document number, in which case all these will be CC. I don't have to repeat it, but some people would want to indicate that this is cash check counterfoil and then the number. But make sure that you indicate the document number and the date on which the transaction took place, which then takes us to the different things, different places where we were paying. The names of the different businesses or people that we were paying appear in the details column. And then we only have bank and another account. So you will notice that unlike in the cash receipts journal, in the cash payment journal, we only record the amount twice, which is again helping us to identify which two accounts are affected. So because we are taking all this money from the bank, it's always going to be bank and some other account. In this case, because we are buying equipment, so we are going to increase our equipment. The other times we were buying fuel, so we put it in the fuel account. The other time we were paying wages. And sometimes it was accounts that we do not have here. We have to name them: donation, drawings, stationery, repairs, water and electricity. Because we didn't have them in our columns, they end up in sundry accounts. And at the end of the month, again, we are going to add all the money that came in, and then we check, like in this case, if we add everything from the part that I've highlighted here, it should amount to 70,360 that we have here. All right. So that's how easy it is to compile a cash receipts journal and a cash payments journal. Then at the end of the month, we have to post the totals of the bank columns to the general ledger. So in the general ledger, we have different accounts. The most important account that we want to concentrate on now is the bank account. So let us try to understand what is going to happen in the bank account. I'm having these figures that I'm just going to use for an example. Then we balance our bank account using the figures that we got. Let's say we were having 30,000 from the bank column, and then of the CRJ, and 20,000 from the CPJ. What it means is we were going to take the total of the bigger side and write it at the bottom on both sides. Then the side with the smaller amount, we subtract the amount that it is having. The figure that we get, we call it balance carried down. And then in this case it was 10,000, and then we start a new month, which is going to be balance brought down. So the same amount that we ended up with is the same amount that we are going to start the next month with. So let us check here our figures. I don't want these figures. I'm going to check figures that I'm going to get from our current balances. So how much did we have in our CRJ bank column? We had 112,208. I'm going to take that amount and post it to the bank account in the general ledger, which is here. So that's the amount that I got. I'm going to post it here. There you are, 112,308. Then from my CPJ, I have this amount, which I'm going to take and post it to the CPJ. So in this case, now you can see that we collected a total amount of 112,208, and we used 70,360. So we want to balance our account. It means I'm going to take this figure because it is the bigger one. I am going to write it here, and I also write it on this side. So I've taken both of my bigger amounts, and now I need to check the difference between this and 70,000 on my calculator, and then this is going to be giving us a new figure. So if I take my calculator to help me to calculate, okay, so I'm going to say 112,280 minus the amount that I got from my CPJ, which is 70,360. So our answer is 41,920. So I'm going to record 41,920. 41,920. Which I'm going to start my next month with. So now I have balanced my bank account. Throughout the month, I collected 112,280. I used 70,360. So I'm still remaining with 41,920. So we end this lesson here, and then we'll be doing our next activity to illustrate what will be happening if we are having a situation where the business is trading. Because in this activity, this one was only providing a service. Thank you very much.